Got some dates. He'll be doing Florida in January. If you're in Florida, go to ronplacone.com for tickets. So we like to talk about net neutrality here a lot because it's super important. We're on the internet. That's how this whole thing gets done. And here's bad news. So they got a chance to overturn the bad decision on net neutrality and give us back net neutrality. And guess what? The Democrats are the ones standing in the way again. It's amazing how they'll just find just enough Democrats to screw over anything good happening. Or they'll find just enough Democrats to make something horrible happen. Isn't that something? Like Brett Kavanaugh. They'll find, we got Joe Manchin helping us. So the deadline to pass the piece of legislation is the 10th, right?
Yes.
So it's quickly approaching. And, the Democratic members of Congress staying mum on net neutrality, guess what? They've all taken campaign contributions from major telecom companies, according to the FEC filings. No kidding. No kidding. You mean it's not Russia? It's not Russia making them vote against the will of the people who voted for them? Really? I thought it was Russia that controlled our government. It's not? You mean it's actually American corporations that control our government? Isn't that weird? I thought it was Russia. I thought Russia was the reason why 80% of Americans, workers live paycheck to paycheck and half the country's poor or low income. I thought it was Russia. Turns out it's because our government's completely corrupted by corporations. Why wouldn't they be talking about this for the last 2 years instead of Russia? I don't know.
Well, because the alternative theory is Russia is tricking you into thinking these corporations are controlling the government.
Yes, but when it's
Could
really...
have been a meme.
I love how people say, they're playing four-dimensional chess, and then people just start making five-dimensional, six-dimensional. No one's doing that. No one's playing five-dimensional chess. People aren't even playing chess. They're playing one-dimensional chess.
Mm-hmm.
Chest?
Chest.
I said chest. Anita Ekberg, am I right? Anyway, in May, the Senate passed a joint resolution under the Congressional Review Act that would overturn the Federal Communication Commission's decision to scrap free internet rules last year. The resolution was then sent to the House, and the Democrats introduced a discharge position, which, if it gets 218 votes or signatures, will force the House to vote on the resolution, even without the recommendation of a committee. So that'd be great. Talk about... And now if the Republicans vote against it, now you got that ammunition to go against them. Mm-hmm. Now you got something to really go against them with.
Yeah, and you got public opinion on your side. Yeah. I mean, the fact that there are, and there's still Republicans staying in the way of this too, of course. But the fact that the Democrats aren't unanimous on this one,
right,
is very telling and very disturbing.
And the fact that Nancy Pelosi isn't cracking the whip on them.
Yeah, she'll tweet about net neutrality a good bit.
And
it's one of the few moments I agree with her when she's talking about net neutrality. But, there's 18 that aren't on board with this yet, and it doesn't seem like there's any discipline.
Just like when the Democrats wanted to vote for Brett Kavanaugh, and Chuck Schumer said there won't be any punishment.
Mm-hmm. Another guy that'll tweet about net neutrality. He'll tweet about it. He actually tweeted out one of our videos, which is, still my favorite thing he's ever done by far. But
that really did happen, right?
Yes,
Chucky the Shoom tweeted out our...
He was like, "You're sure right, Jimmy," and tweeted out one of our videos.
That is so weird.
It was kind of weird.
Don't resist the resistance, Jimmy. We're all on the same side. You hate Trump, right? Uh-huh. Now talk about Stormy Daniels.
Yeah, whenever he did that, I was just like, has he seen any of the other stuff on this show before he did that?
I'm guessing no.
Yeah, me too.
The Democrats have until December 10th, like we mentioned earlier, to get 218 signatures, which would require every Democrat and a few Republicans. So far, they have 177 signatures. So they need 41 signatures.
Mm-hmm.
That leaves 18 Democrats in the House who have yet to sign the petition, which is, again, the only hope Congress has of voting and passing this resolution to restore net neutrality this year. A motherboard review of FEC filings shows that each of the representatives has taken thousands of dollars in campaign contributions from one or more major telecom companies, including AT&T, Verizon, Comcast, and the National Cable Television Association, or the NCTA, and ISP Trade Group, what is an internet service provider trade group. And here's, I don't know if you can read that, so I'll read them to you. Brendan Boyle, he's a Democrat from Pennsylvania's 13th district. He's taken money from Comcast, Verizon, and the NCTA. And he's not on. He hasn't signed yet for net neutrality, so he doesn't care if you have net neutrality or not. That's Brendan Boyle, doesn't care. You know who else? Robert Brady from Pennsylvania. He also doesn't care. He's from Pennsylvania's 1st district. Or how about G.K. Butterfield from North Carolina? Doesn't care if you have net neutrality. Matt Cartwright, also from Pennsylvania's 17th district. Jim Costa, not Acosta, Jim Costa, he's from right here in California, the 16th district. He's taking money from AT&T and Comcast. Henry Queller, I don't know if you're saying that right, he's from Texas. Dwight Evans from Pennsylvania. Vincent Gonzalez, he's from the Tri-Caucus. Where's that? Tri-Caucus. What is that? I don't even know what that is. Tri-Caucus. Look that up. See what that is. Maybe by the end I get done reading these names. Josh Gothamer from New Jersey. Gene Green. These are Democrats. These aren't Republicans. These are Democrats in Democratic districts. Isn't that wild? Gene Green. That's quite a name. I remember Gene the Dancing Machine when I was a kid. He was on the Gong Show. This guy's on the Gong Show of net neutrality. Tom O'Halloran from Arizona. Mary Gay Scanlon. She got gay right in her name. She can't be progressive enough to vote for this, right?
Yeah.
David Scott from Georgia. He hasn't signed on to the Brad Schneider from Illinois. Kristen Sinema from Arizona. Philemon Veja. That's a name. Philemon Veja. That's from Texas. Pete Vishlosky from Indiana. And the final one is Frederica Wilson from Florida. So those are all Democrats who've taken cash from telecoms, and now they're not signed on to giving you net neutrality. All those people are against you getting net neutrality. Why? Because they took money from the people who don't want you to have net neutrality, meaning the internet service providers like Comcast or AT&T or Verizon. Isn't that something? There you go. There's your Blue Wave. Blue Wave. Can't even get them on board for freaking net neutrality. Holy effing F. And Nancy Pelosi not screaming about this. Steny Hoyer not screaming about this. They're gonna let those guys not sign. They're not even going to talk about it. It won't even be talked about. It's only going to be talked about at places like Motherboard and this show. Where else did they do in this story? Have you seen anybody else cover this story?
No.
I haven't seen it.
You only see it on the blogosphere because,
right.
the corporate media outlets, they want to see net neutrality go away.
So Comcast, the people who own MSNBC, they don't want net neutrality. They want it to go away, and so people on MSNBC don't cover this. And when they do cover net neutrality, they cover it like they don't even really understand what it is. Remember, we saw Eli Vesey cover it like he's like, I don't know.
Rachel Maddow pretended she didn't understand it. Like,
same thing.
You understand it.
Right. And using words that sound ominous but really aren't. This is a big deal. Remember when they repealed?
Yeah.
She goes, this is a big deal. There will be protests. But she wouldn't say big deal good, big deal bad. Should the protesters protest? Should they not? Are they right? Are they wrong? I guess we'll never know. If you watch Rachel Maddow, you'll never know. You'll be fed a steady diet of Russia conspiracy. Russia controls everything. And she's even though she's a Rhodes Scholar, she doesn't really understand if net neutrality is good or bad. She doesn't really know. Isn't that great? Anyway, here's the Democrats. Just enough Democrats to screw you. There's always going to be just enough Democrats to screw you. Our next live Jimmy Dore show is February 1st in Burbank, California. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a list of all our live shows, and please become a premium member if you can. Become a patron. It's the way we support this show because they're coming at us, and we give you bonus. We give you hours of bonus material every week. Check it out. become a patron. And if you can, make sure you're still subscribed. They unsubscribe people every day. I know it sounds crazy. It only takes a second. Please make sure and click that bell when you subscribe so they'll send you a notice